Alrighty everyone, as you can see, we're fueled up, ready to roll. Well, g'day everyone, how you going? Rob here. We're off on another adventure today. Jimna State Forest, let's do this. We're going to Peach Trees Campground, which is about 2 hours north of Brizzy. Haven't been there before, haven't been to Jimna Forest before actually. So very keen to check it out and see what it has to offer. 2-3 days up there, let's do it. Have a look at that, absolutely stunning. Some of the scenery you get to see coming into Kilcoy, Wivenhoe Dam, absolutely unreal. As you drive into Kilcoy, folks, make sure to pull over at the big park as you come in. Great place to stop for a bit of a quick feed or organise your fridge before you get to camp, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Time for a bite to eat from the bakery and sort out my fridge. When you stop in Kilcoy, guys, take the time to walk the main street. All the history of all the buildings is on each of the buildings as you walk down the main street. Very cool. As you can see, fantastic period hotel. Absolutely unreal. Huge as well. The size of this thing is unreal. So coming out of Kilcoy, you want to go past the old coach stop from the Common Co days and follow the signs to Jimna, around the old clock in the middle of the roundabout. Now guys, just something to be wary of. I just came out of Kilcoy, we're heading to Jimna, the State Forest, and I just passed a sign back there that said no fuel for the next 130 kilometres. So make sure that when you leave Kilcoy, fuel up there. There's a BP servo there. And you'll be right until you get out to Morgan, which is further out. We're obviously not going that far. Jimna's only about 40 k's up the road. But if you're at half a tank or anything like that and you're heading out here, fill up at Kilcoy. That way when you get out here, if there's any tracks and things that you want to drive around or go for a bit of a cruise through the days when you're camping, you got plenty of fuel, you don't need to worry about it. But yeah, just make sure you fuel up at Kilcoy because there's nothing out this way. Such a gorgeous area. Mount Kilcoy, Jimna. Scenic rim, just off the side of the road as you're driving into Jimna, out of Kilcoy, you'll come across this little monument. Now, it's actually a chimney from a building that stood here in the 40s that was built by the 2nd 10th Battalion. There's a little blurb around the back. 2nd 10th Battalion seem to have been in just about every battle that Australia's ever fought in. They're known as the Adelaide Rifles. There's a little right up there at the back. But this is part of a chimney, or the chimney of part of the building here when the battalion camped here for about 3 months in the early 40s. What I'll do is I'll get a close-up of this. Hopefully you can see it. If you like, you can pause it and have a read of it. It's actually quite interesting, the amount of battles and things that this infantry battalion took part in. Just thought I'd show you that, and if you're ever coming out this way or you're thinking of coming to camping this way, make sure you pull over and have a look. It's quite impressive, this little chimney. And there's a little memorial. People obviously leaving items and things. A photo there of one of the soldiers. Always worth stopping and checking out these little sites along the side of the road when you're heading out this way. Turn off into Peach Trees. Logging area as you come in. As you can see, this area has recently been logged. Still absolutely stunning scenery though. Dirt road for about 4k, and then we should get to the campsite. Now hopefully in the shot, guys, you can see the great big ugly tower up there, the Telstra tower. Now the campsite doesn't have any reception, any 4G, Telstra, Optus, none of that. You can do emergency calls only, so it's a very, very weak signal, but you can't actually make phone calls, send texts, go on Facebook, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. But just outside of camp, about 4 kilometres. In fact, this is the actual road that goes into the camp. And as you can see, the forest over there on the other side of that is the campsite. But since you're so deep inside the forest, you can't get any 4G or 3G reception. But those who are wondering, at about 4 minutes out of camp in the car, or even wander up if you're feeling active, and you'll get full Telstra and Optus 4G reception. But seriously folks, why would you want it when, have a look around. This is gorgeous. This is the whole reason you go camping. You get away from everything. And we'll go for a bit of a look around the camp and I'll show you why. Take the right-hand turn, down towards the bridge, and you're at Peach Trees Camping. Now, obviously guys, do the right thing and fill out the permit when you arrive. Make sure you display it on your campsite. Otherwise these guys might not be very happy with you. This is the layout and a bit of the idea of the campsite, folks. Apparently there's platypuses here. I've never seen a platypus in the wild, so here's to hoping. So make sure you get your tag, fill it out and put it on your campsite. Let's go find ourselves a spot. Now, before I get stuck into brekkie, folks, excuse the morning voice, I wanted to introduce you to this guy, little Eastern Grey. You'll hear them hopping around your camp and see them everywhere here at Jimna, which is absolutely unreal. And you'll hear them through the night, bouncing around your campsite, so don't freak out. They're all very friendly, but as always, if you get near them and they sort of arc up a bit, make sure you stand back. But anyway, just thought he might want to say good morning to you as well. But he's not even facing us, so maybe not. Alright, no doubt we'll see more of them over the next few days. Anyway, time to get into some brekkie. As you can see, folks, I've woken to a nice, misty, foggy morning, which is what I think winter camping is all about. First I thought it was an overcast day, but then I realised we're just in the middle of a fog patch and all misty. No good for the solar, but that'll come out. The sun will come out shortly, and that'll be all right. But make sure you cover everything at night, guys. So obviously I've got the tonneau here, and you can see that the dew for overnight is on the top of the tonneau. And for example, not on my fridge. Same as with anything you go camping with, your chairs and stuff. Make sure you take them inside before you go to sleep at night. Obviously, it's a bit hard to remember if you've had a few sarsaparillas, but always try and make sure you get your chairs and things inside. Otherwise, you'll wake up to a wet chair. But looks like it's going to be a glorious day. And once the fog clears, we'll go for a bit of a journey into town, local town of Jimna, and we'll see what's there. Only two main roads here in Jimna. We're on one of them. Classic old logging town. Population of about 90, which is pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Check out that ladder. Obviously someone had to rescue someone's cat. That's classic. Little information centre here. Let's check it out. Now guys, take the time to go into those information stores and centres, especially little ones like that in a town like this. I just went in there, it turns out there's a whole museum in there, guys, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now I left the camera in my pocket because I don't want to give the game away. You guys need to come out here and see it for yourself, but there is so much history in this tiny little town, this old little logging town, that is just, it's just unreal. And even if I took the camera in there, I would be filming for days because there is just so much to see in there. So make sure you take the time. Go into these little information centres, these quirky little stores in these towns. You never quite know what you'll just find. For example, we're now heading to the largest fire tower in the southern hemisphere. I would never have known it was here unless I went in there. So let's go check it out, the Jimna Fire Tower. Well guys, that there, the Jimna Fire Tower. 47 metres high, heritage listed, only 3 legs as you can see, and the tallest fire tower in the southern hemisphere. Saved by the town of Jimna, built in the 70s, and around the 90s they wanted to tear it down and all the rest of it as it became unsafe, but they managed to save it, which is pretty cool. They used to do in the 80s and stuff, you could go up and climb it and all that kind of thing, and there's photos in a little museum in town of all the cars parked around. There's a little shop here and toilets and all the rest of it. Quite the tourist attraction. You can see for miles apparently. I mean, if I spin around here, you can see just how far you can see it. I'm on the ground, so let alone being up in the air. But great to see the town was able to save it, and they're bringing it back to its former glory. All the construction workers and things here, so very cool. And hopefully in a year or two we'll be able to go back up it and see the view from the top. Peach Trees Campground. Let's go have a look around. Something for everyone with kids out there. Queensland Parks Wi-Fi. Yes, it does work. It isn't the fastest. You only get 4 hours and 200 megabytes, whichever one comes first. So if you've got kids with iPads, things like that, you can get them quiet for a couple of hours at least on the Queensland Parks Wi-Fi, and it's free. As you can see, you don't need a hardcore four-wheel drive to get to this place. Standard two-wheel drive car get you here just fine. The same spot where you get your permit, just down there, is also the same spot where 2 of the main toilets are. So there's 4 toilets in each block. Not male or female, but unisex, I guess you'd call it. And there's hand sanitizer and sinks and all that kind of thing here. Just keep in mind that the water here is not potable. So you will see little water stations and things around. They're directly pretty much from the creek. So there is water here, just make sure you boil it or treat it however you see fit. But it's not drinkable out of the tap. But the toilets are very clean, they're flushing, so they're not drop toilets. They do actually flush, which is nice. Plenty of toilet roll in there and all that sort of thing, and very clean. I won't take you in there. We all know what a toilet looks like, but nice and clean, which is good to see. This here is the second main part of the campground. This is the larger of the 2, and as you can see, not many in at the moment, which is great. It's always nice to come to a campsite and there not be many people around. More kangaroos than there are campers. Definitely not complaining about that. Near each of the campsites, you'll find a fire ring or a fire pit, whatever you want to call it. Plenty of them around, folks. So you have to bring your own firewood. Remember, you can't cut down trees in a state forest. It's against the law. Also, you can see my setup there, well, sort of behind the sun. And again, these taps I was mentioning before near the toilets, not potable water, so you do need to treat it before you attempt to drink it. The 2 sites are connected by a little track here. There is 2 tracks, the main sort of driveway, and then there's this little, more of a bush track, but again a 2-wheel drive vehicle. No dramas at all through here. Now, I absolutely love this. Some more toilets here at campsite 1, but what I love the most is this area is for wheelies, campers who are in wheelchairs. Now, I think that is awesome. A whole area for them here so they can park up and do what they need to, and you can wheel across to a campsite right here. Something I don't think is thought about often enough. This is the section 1 part of the main campsite. Now, a little bit smaller and a lot fewer fire rings I'm noticing actually, but it is more open as for trees and things, so you'll get more sun for your solar panels and won't have to set up under a tree as such or negotiate around trees. So if you've got a larger rigs, probably this is the site you want to go to. Well, It's getting to that time of the afternoon, folks. Time for a sneaky jam-filled lamington, and we'll get the fire going and get into dinner. You little beauty. Folks, how you going? Apologies for the morning voice. I'm just having my first coffee. Brecky's on the cooker there. Just gotten up. It's about 7:30. Bit of a sleep in this morning, but that's all right. Nice and crisp again. No fog, but nice and crisp. A couple of kangaroos getting around, eastern greys. A few around the place. But today's plan. There's a couple of bushwalks around here, so we're gonna go give them a look, see if there are any good ones. About 3k, and the other one's about, I think, about a kilometre, something like that. But I'll smash down this brekkie first, have a shower, then we'll head off and check out some bushwalks. Should be a good day. There's a nice little creek access landing point here that you can wander down to, just from the campsite. A few steps, you'll be down here. Nice little spot to come and spend a bit of time. I don't know if you could swim in here or not. I'm sure you could probably just paddle around, but I wouldn't get too crazy. Remember, there are meant to be platypus in here. Gorgeous little spot though. Now, you're just going to have to believe me, folks, but on cue there was a platypus just in here. And of course I didn't capture it. But I can vouch that yes, there's at least one platypus in this creek. Jaffle Creek circuit, let's have a look. It's at the end of campsite 2. Let's see what we can find. Cool little suspension bridge here. Going over the creek. Very nice. Oh, there's some bounce in it. What a cool little bridge. Just past the bridge, you'll come to this little sign, and the Jaffle Creek circuit pretty much takes you back to camp, and the I'm going to say the Arakaria circuit 3.2. That's what we're going to do today. So let's get into it. Bushwalk's pretty easy, folks, but keep your eye out in the bushes. Plenty of wildlife around. Another eastern grey, little Joey. Off he goes. Bushwalk, and moderate level is probably what you need for that bushwalk. 3k up and down a little bit, over some hills. There's no lookout or waterfall or anything, unfortunately, not any creek crossings or anything like that, but there is some nice rainforesty bits, and if you're into your birds, especially rainforest birds, there's plenty out there, so might be worth it if you're into that, or if you just want to stroll for the morning, might be worth it as well. So as you can see, I got the Jaffle line all prepped, ready to go, and the fire pit fired up. Going to do some ham, cheese and tomato jaffles, or toasties, or whatever you want to call them. Really original, I know, ham, cheese, tomato, well, look out. But a little bit of a lunch after the big walk, and then we'll start thinking about dinner, which I'm going to do tonight is the shepherd's pie. So going to do that in the camp oven, so that should be interesting. I've only ever done it once, and I kind of buggered it up, so we'll see how we go this time. And I just realised I've forgotten to bring something to mash the potatoes in, so let's see what I can come up with to do that. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet, But anyway, we'll get this fire heated up, get it nice and hot, and then we'll get the toasties in there, the jaffles, whatever you want to call them, and we'll have some lunch. Fire's not quite ready yet, but I'm way too hungry to wait. Oh yeah, get toasty. Alright, let's see how we went. Oh, it's not stuck to the thing, that's always a good start. Oh, they look good to me. I can't even talk properly. That's how excited I am. Now guys, as you can see, I absolutely love these toasties. When you're out camping for lunch or afternoon snack or whatever, absolutely love them. Now, what I want to know is, what do you put on yours? Now, there's many different combinations and variations and recipes, I'm sure. So leave in the comments below and let me know what you put on your jaffle, waffle, toasted sandwich, whatever you want to call it. I want to know. Alright guys, it's gone a little bit pear-shaped here for our shepherd's pie. I was just about to start getting the fire going, and I thought to myself, I don't have any way to boil the potatoes. I didn't bring any pots on this trip. So stupid. So anyway, not only do I not have anything to mash the potatoes in, I didn't have anything to boil the potatoes to begin with. So then I thought, oh, well, I can't do my shepherd's pie. But then I remembered, a little gas stove here came with this little cooker top, I guess you'd call it. So I'm going to try and cut the potatoes down. I filled it with a bit of water. I'm getting some hot water out of the jet boil now. And I'm going to try and boil this with the potatoes in it. See how that goes. If that doesn't work out, well then it might be chicken schnitz for dinner. But we'll see how we go. We're trying to make it up as we go. That's part of camp cooking, I think. So hopefully, if I can get this going, then I'll get the fire going. So once I see this sort of taking shape and working, we'll get the fire going. Alrighty guys, potato update. We've just finished boiling them. There they are there. Thank goodness. And how am I going to mash them, I hear you ask? With this little plastic bowl, this little plastic container. I've washed it, cleaned it. It was holding my Nurofen, deodorant, sunscreen bottle, that kind of thing. I have cleaned it, so it should be alright. But it's a little bit of make it up as we go here at the moment, which is totally fine. We've got the fire just kicking off now, so we'll get that burning up and get that going with some big logs and get some coals in there, hopefully very soon. Because as you know, in winter, the sun doesn't stick around for long, so I've probably got about 2 hours, I reckon. So I want to get a good fire in here and then get the camp oven in there with the mince and everything else. So hopefully have it before the sun goes down, but we'll see. All right, time to mince, time to mash these potatoes. Now, I'm filming this because I know a lot of you will get a laugh out of this, but we're making it up as we go. So, I'm going to mash our potatoes. I don't have a strainer, so I have to manually get them all out. Alrighty, masher located. I'm going to add a bit of milk. Now remember, this is going to look all a bit weird because I'm doing it in a container. And some butter, a knife. I'm doing this all kinds of wrong. Yes, I know I'm probably killing the butter and killing the... what? I don't care. Get mashing. This is hilarious. Oh yeah. Woohoo! I think I put way too much milk in. Oh yeah, I reckon I have. Well, I pretty much stuffed that up completely. Have a look. I think I put about 4 litres too much milk in. Whatever. I'll just tip it into the mince when I get there. Ah dear, classic. Alright, let's check out the fire. How's that going? Yeah, now I've just got to wait for some coals to form, get some more logs on that, and get some coals happening. I got to say, as I settle into the last night here at Jimna, I've loved having these as my my guests of honour, and I feel like you get to know them after a few days. As you can see, guys, got the fire coming along nicely now. I've already got the camp oven in there. There's nothing in it yet. Just warming it up, and probably in about 10-15 minutes that'll be burnt down just enough. Have some nice coals, and we'll get stuck into cooking. Got the mashed potato on top. Put the lid back on. Oh, I reckon 15, maybe 20 minutes. Oh, smoke in my eyes. We'll be done. Hopefully eating. Oh, how's that hair? I was a little worried about it, guys, but it is starting to smell absolutely delicious. And I think it's almost time. Alright, let's see how it's looking. Interesting. Well, my shepherd's pie turned into more of a stew, I think. Let me know where you think it went wrong. Basically, that's how it's going to look. It's kind of there. But I think I added too much water. I thought I'd add water halfway through. I might have added a bit too much. That's the end result there. It was bubbling away and smelt quite good. Did I just not leave it in long enough, maybe? Don't know. Anyway, let's get into it and see if it's any good. Well, good morning, folks. Day 3, pack-up day today. I was going to do pancakes this morning, but I thought, bugger it. I'll finish off the last of the bacon and the egg, and we'll have some more of that. So I got that cooking up in there. Jet boil looks like it's, let's have a look. Yeah, that's boiled, so that's ready to go for the coffee this morning. So I'll turn that off. Very good. Pack up the swag first. That'll be the first job. Always make the swag the first job of pack-up day, because I always find it the most time-consuming, the most sort of hassle, I suppose. Get that done pretty much as soon as I get up, or just after brekkie. Get the swag in, have a shower, and then we'll pull this whole setup down. And unfortunately, go home. But first, breakfast. Now, I've still got the morning voice, so sorry about that. But as we all know, last night's shepherd's pie was a disaster. So if you guys have any tips for campfire cooking, camp oven cooking, I may need them. So I've gone for the double up on the bacon here this morning, because I'm a little bit hungry this morning because I didn't have my shepherd's pie. But anyway, we'll get into this bacon. Let me know your tips for any camp oven cooking, and we'll see how we go on the next run. Alright, smash down this bacon, finish off the coffee, get into the swag and pull all this down. Pull into Somerset Dam for a bit of lunch. We'll get into that shortly, but I thought I'd just do a bit of a wrap-up of Jimna camping grounds, or Peach Trees camping ground, to be more specific. Great couple of days there. I think you'll agree. Absolutely beautiful spot. The grounds are well maintained. The toilets were great, nice and clean, flushing, all that sort of thing. For $6.50 a night through the State Forest and logging on online to get your camping tag and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely fantastic bush camp. An absolutely fantastic spot if you want a few days off-grid, because there's no phone reception there, guys. And just camp. Be away from everything for a few days and be surrounded by all the kangaroos that came into camp every day and every night. So much bird life. It's just unreal. They'll come and hang out with you and sit on a chair with you and all that kind of stuff. They're absolutely everywhere. Super friendly. Make sure you put all your food away before you go off to the toilet though, because you'll come back and you'll find your plate and everything all over the ground, because as soon as you walk away from your camp, they jump in there. It's quite funny actually. Overall, fantastic place to go camping. I'll definitely be going back there again. It's off-grid. There is Wi-Fi there, the National Park's Wi-Fi, and it did work. I did manage to connect online. The speed wasn't amazing, of course, but hey, it's free and you can use it to check weather or anything sort of simple. Don't use it to update Instagram, folks. Wait till you get home for that. Everybody can wait. Enjoy the time out, being around nature and everything else, perhaps with your family or friends or something like that, just away from everyone, and then get home and update your Instagram. Anyway, Instagram rant over. By the way, follow my Instagram, The Wanderer Oz. Enough of that. If you're looking for somewhere to go with heaps of activities through the day and things to do, no, this isn't the campsite for you. This is the campsite for people who want to get away, relax, chill out, do nothing, read a book, that kind of thing, and just have some peace and quiet. That's what this camp is all about. The area is absolutely huge, so much room to spread out, plenty of distance between yourself and the next camper. It does say it can hold up to 300 people. I wouldn't like to see 300 people camped in there. It would be very crowded at that point. but easily 100, 150, you still have plenty of room, spread out to yourselves, you'll be totally fine. Through the week, obviously, is the best time to go, less people, but obviously a lot of people can't get out until the weekend, so as I left, there was the most amount of campers there. It's a Friday afternoon here at Lake Somerset, glorious Friday afternoon, and the campsite was filling pretty quickly from about mid-morning, 12 o'clock I was sort of out of there, so just be wary of that on the weekend, get there early, get a good spot. But that's about it, guys. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. About to have some lunch here by the lake. How nice is this, folks? How good is that? And I'll spin the chair around, have some lunch, and then head on home. Damn, have to go home. Back to work. How frustrating is that? But hey, all that means is that the next trip's coming very soon. Stay tuned. Remember to like and subscribe and all that kind of thing. More camping reviews and products and ideas and tips and tricks and trips and all that kind of thing coming your way, so make sure you subscribe, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.